You ready? Okay, let's go. All right, we are in for another full day in the studio, and actually my studio looks really cute right now, so let me show you guys. This is my little studio space. I have it extra cute and clean right now because I just did an open studios event last weekend and it's happening again this weekend. So I brought in this shelf from my market display storage just so I can display product a bit, and then I took down my slab roller from this table to just kind of spread out all of my inventory a little bit. And I hung up a bunch of painting. Some of these belong in my kitchen normally, but I brought them all in here. And this half of the studio is pretty much where I do all the work. So I have my larger work table here, smaller work table here, which also doubles as like a packing station, and then storage shelf there, and lots of storage underneath my everywhere, basically. Okay, that is my speed run tour of my little tiny studio space. Let me go ahead and show you some new things that I have finished since the last time I made a YouTube video. It's been a while since I uploaded anything. These little tiles were actually something I was working on in my last YouTube video. If you watched it, I was wet etching them, and I even commented on the end, I think, that I wasn't sure if I would like the way that the wet etching looked to achieve the like texture in the checkered pattern, or if I would prefer them to be carved. Turns out I prefer them to be carved. I actually went over everything and just carved out the shapes instead, because the lines and the shape just feels like a lot more crisp that way. So, you know, lesson learned. I have these 3 colors of them now, but I'm going to be adding like at least 3 more colors of them, so I do have to make more. I also made some more flower magnets in these 2 new colors. I really like the blue one. And I made some new prints. This is like the most exciting new thing for me. So this is the first one, and it's based on some of the paintings that I did. I photographed them and then turned them into this little print. The only annoying part is that I sent the wrong file. I had photographed the pieces before finishing the speckles on the mugs, and that was the file that I sent for printing. So these ones are going to be discounted a little bit just so I can order the final intended design. And then I have my coffee print. I should take them out of the plastic. There we go. Okay, so this is my coffee painting. I was really excited to order this one as a print. The original painting is hanging up here, but it belongs in my kitchen normally, but I just really love this one a lot. And the pattern I used on the background is actually newsprint from Muchachi. She designs wrapping paper, and so I had glued that to the canvas and then painted on top of it, and I just love how it looks so much. So I got it printed in 11 by 14 and 10 by 8, and I'm really excited about them. So none of these things are on my website yet. I'm still working on like a whole collection, especially for the coffee mug stuff. I turned that design also into a decal, and so I'm still doing some testing, but working on getting that design onto some mugs. So once I have like the whole collection together and done, I'll have a big shop update, probably much closer to the holidays, and hoping to bring all of this stuff to holiday markets and things like that. So if you want to be notified first, you can join my email list or join my Patreon. Patreons get early access to everything. So yeah, but I wanted to show you guys some new stuff because I feel like I haven't had new things in a while. So even though they're not available yet, I'm really excited to share them. All right, I do have some actual... Can I help you? She's bringing me her toy. Okay. I do have a lot on the to-do list today though, so let's start working on some actual things. First up is matchboxes. Okay, so while we watch me work on these matchboxes, I thought I would pop in and do a voiceover and tell you how I got started in ceramics. I did not go to school for ceramics, I actually went to school for physics. I got my master's degree in physics in 2018 from the University of Oregon, and that is also where I took my first ceramics class. I did kind of an accelerated master's program, so it was just the summer semester, and then during the fall semester I only had 2 classes before going into like an internship to finish the program. And so during that fall semester I decided to take an art class with that extra time, just something for fun before I moved to start my internship and basically before starting like a full-time kind of adult job. And I just kind of loved it right away. I wasn't able to do ceramics again for another year, but even during that first class I took, it was an intro to both wheel and hand building, and I just remember kind of feeling like it felt kind of natural to me. Not to say that I was good at it right away, but the process was enjoyable right away. Like, even if I was doing things wrong or didn't like how it came out, the process was still enjoyable, and I was kind of spending all of my extra time in the studio. A year later, after finishing my degree, I moved to St. Louis, Missouri, where my partner was finishing his master's degree. And I moved there without a job, so when I first moved there, I signed up right away for a community studio. I figured it would give me something to do while I was applying for jobs and stuff. It ended up taking me 5 months to find a job there, and so for those 5 months I was going to the ceramic studio like 3 times a week. I remember my partner would drop me off at the Starbucks across the street from the studio in the morning, like on his way to either work or to classes. And I would sit in Starbucks and have breakfast, maybe like apply to a couple jobs, and then once the studio opened, I would walk across the street and spend like all day in there as long as I could. I kept going to that studio after getting a job as an engineer, and then when COVID happened, I took everything that I needed home and had a little space in the kitchen, and every day after work I would go into the kitchen and work on stuff, work on projects. And then I would like deep clean the entire kitchen afterwards because I was really nervous and paranoid about clay dust. Okay, matchboxes are done. The next thing I'm gonna do today is cut out a bunch of slabs for mugs and vases. During the open studios this weekend, I'm still just gonna be working in my studio as people come and visit so they can see what I'm working on and ask me questions about the process and stuff like that. And the next big thing I have to do is mugs for the holidays and vases for a wholesale order. So I need to prep the slabs for that so that I can work on those things this weekend. Having the slabs ready to go and having my work just be like putting the slabs together and constructing them is a lot better for like an open studios kind of thing, because my slab roller takes up a lot of space. I'm like throwing the clay down and to stretch it out and stuff, and yeah, it's just a little bit more inconvenient to be rolling out slabs while people are in here, and it just takes up a lot more space, and it's a lot more like noisy and stuff. So I would like to just have as many slabs prepped as I can for the weekend. Problem is that this cute table here usually is not this cute and usually has my slab roller. I took the slab roller down for the Open Studios event last weekend so that I could display more products in like more of like a shoppable way. And I was trying to avoid having to take this apart to roll our slabs, but now that's where we are, so I'm gonna take this down. Back to my voiceover story. I kept my job as an engineer for about 2 years, but I really did not like it for a lot of reasons, and I just felt at the time that pottery was giving me everything that I wasn't getting in my job. I was working with my hands, I was working on projects through the entire process, like ideation and testing and, you know, getting to that final product. And the idea of having my work end up in people's homes and people getting to use them every day was becoming really exciting. I ended up meeting with a career advisor over the course of like 9 months, and originally I started meeting with her to help me apply to another engineering job and just being more intentional about my application process and understand what I was looking for. But throughout the 9 months and meeting with her, talking with her, I ended up deciding to go a totally different route and applied to a couple art programs. So I knew I wanted to move back to the West Coast, and I ended up doing a 1-year post-bac program at the Pacific Northwest College of Art here in Portland, Oregon. I never felt that I wanted to go back to school, but I just felt like I wanted something to sort of ease me into this transition. So this program gave me a mentor for 1 year to help me with pottery specifically, and I kind of got to take whatever classes I wanted, so I got to explore other mediums as well and other areas. And yeah, it was really fun. I had already had my website at that point, but it just gave me a little bit of space to like focus on this new thing and kind of see where I wanted to go. And that was 3 years ago, so here we are. Still a long ways to go. I'm still just part-time right now, but we're getting there, and yeah, making progress. Okay, it is 8:40. The lighting in here is terrible, but I got all of the mug slabs rolled out, so that feels great. I actually got an extra one, so I did 37. Yeah, so I'll still have to roll out the 30 vases, but maybe that just waits until next week. We'll see. I think the mugs will give me plenty to do through this weekend during the Open Studios event, so I'm gonna go home now. Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions about any of the art processes that you see in my videos or my journey into ceramics, you can leave comments and I might use them for future video ideas. Okay, I think I'm done.